Pete Hodgson.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Health and reads, will he take the final decision on the future configuration of South Island neurosurgery services if wide consensus cannot be reached? If not, why not?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, this is...
Order. I apologise for interrupting the Minister. Now, I say to the Labour Party front bench on this occasion, one of their colleagues asked a perfectly fair question where there's considerable public interest before the Minister could say a word in answer. There was numerous interjections from the Labour front bench. I asked the Labour Party front bench to please be a little more reasonable so that I don't have to force them to be a little more reasonable. I don't have to do that. The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. This is a hypothetical question. As the member well knows, all of the South Island District Health Boards agreed to ask the Director-General of Health to arbitrate on the best configuration of neurosurgery services for the South Island, and the Director-General has set up an expert panel to advise him on the matter.
Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker. Is the Minister aware that the Acting Director-General of Health has stated publicly that the final decision is the Acting Director-General's to make, not the Minister's, and if so, does he agree or disagree?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, it is correct that all of the South Island DHBs have asked the Director-General to arbitrate the decision on the configuration of services, which indicates that they will stand by that decision. The challenges facing neurosurgery in Dunedin have a long history. The Dunedin unit had 3 neurosurgeons until October 2006, when one of the 3 neurosurgeons resigned. There was a further resignation in early 2008, and then the sole remaining neurosurgeon resigned just before the election to move to Christchurch. Dunedin has maintained its service by using locums and the support of Christchurch.
The point of order, the Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Just wondering if you believe the question has been addressed, and remind you that it's me seeking the Minister's advice as to whether his Acting Director-General is correct or not correct in asserting publicly that it is the Acting Director-General's final decision to make and not the Minister's.
I believe the Minister did in his answer say that he understood that the decision of the Director-General would be accepted by the District Health Boards, and I believe that's a reasonable answer to the question. Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker, to the Minister. In the event of wide consensus not being reached on the future configuration of neurosurgical services in the South Island, is it his intention to take the issue to Cabinet at any point?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, that is a hypothetical question. What has happened is that the District Health Boards have inherited a situation where Dunedin has lost 3 neurosurgeons in 3 years, and the District Health Boards are now looking and have agreed on a whole of South Island service, and a panel has been established to advise the Director-General, who's been asked to arbitrate. I think everybody in this process would want to ensure that there is a safe and reliable service for the people of Otago, Southland and the rest of the South Island.
The Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Is he therefore leaving open the possibility that a final decision on the future configuration of neurosurgical services in the South Island may be made by an unelected official? If so, what does that say about his accountability?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, as that member would know, wherever a decision is made in the Public Health Service, the Minister of Health always has to stand up in Parliament and give an answer. But let's be clear here. The South Island District Health Boards can't agree on how the service should be configured. The doctors can't agree on how the service can be configured, so they have asked the Director-General to arbitrate and make that decision on their behalf.
The Honourable Pete Hodgson.
How is the Minister able to consider himself an accountable Minister when perfectly reasonable media inquiries to his office are deflected routinely to officials, when countless communications to his office have gone unanswered, and when he declines to become involved in one of the most important decisions his portfolio faces?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
This is indeed an important matter, because when that member was a minister, 3 neurosurgeons left the service in Dunedin. We got to a situation where they are relying on locum and support from Christchurch, and now the DHBs have agreed They should have a whole of the South Island service, but they can't agree on how that should be configured. The doctors can't agree, and so they've asked the Director-General to arbitrate on their behalf.
Question number 7, Dr. Russell.